Aware that a serene environment begets a productive workforce, the Akwa Ibom State government, under the able leadership of His Excellency Chief Godswill Akpabio, embarked on a massive remodeling of the government house complex, from its hitherto embarrassing structure to a world-class monument that the people themselves are proud of. In today's edition of the program Uncommon Transformation television series, we bring to you a blow-by-blow coverage of the making of the new government house complex. Enjoy yourselves.
Welcome to the Uncommon Transformation television series.
When Governor Godswill Akpabio took over the reins of power as the #1 citizen of Akwa Ibom State in 2007, the complex that make up the government house was a monument of decaying infrastructure, dysfunctional and archaic, fit only for the museum, just like most other sectors that make up the state's economy. These block of offices are part of the few surviving buildings that made up the former complex. Without being told, their appearance gave a direct insight into what used to be. This is also what the former Governor's Lodge looked like, which was no better than all other composite structures of what was remaining of the former complex before its demolition. They were built during the military era with structural and other fundamental defects that ruled out quality habitation, while running of a modern, effective and efficient government was cumbersome and a nightmarish experience.
There was a state of decay. It's almost like if you want to, they said it starts from, even the fish starts from the head to get rotten. Am I right? And so there was a state of decay, and that decay also permeated the government house. And so the first thing I did was to bring down the old Governor's Lodge.
This arguably was responsible for Governor Akpabio's piloting the affairs of state from the first 2 years of his administration from his private residence, during which time he sought and got the approval of the Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly to demolish the old relic and build a brand new Governor's Lodge. Today, the new Governor's Lodge, built in under 2 years, stands in its splendor and aesthetics, adding a silver lining to the Akwa Ibom skyline. The seat of government, referred to as the Hilltop Mansion, is no doubt a testimony to the vision of the governor, a befitting place where top functionaries, both local and foreign, can be hosted with pride.
The government house, the seat of government for any state, for any nation, is supposed to be like a monument. You know, it's it's a center where the pride of the people of that state is encapsulated. It represents a lot of things. It's not just the building that you're seeing there, but it's the significance of the building. And what has happened in Akwa Ibom State in the last 5 years has been a total turnaround in infrastructure, in all aspects. What we have today is a government house that gives a sense of pride to an Akwa Ibom person. It shows you what the new Akwa Ibom State is like. And that's why it's a very, from the ambience, you're coming from the gate, the security arrangements, the ambience, the greenery, the serenity of the environment. It depicts governance, it depicts everything good. And I think this is what Akwa Ibom State is all about.
At the advent of the present administration, led by Chief Godfrey Oboro-Pabio, CON, we inherited, yes, government house, but dilapidated government house, unserviceable government house. Not just government house, the entire guest houses there were in ruins. And it would take an irresponsible government, to sit back and begin to, consider the fact that, yes, these are guest houses, let's all continue manage with what. No. The government of Chief Godfrey Oboro-Pabio came to lay a modern foundation, a foundation for the modern Akwa Ibom state. And if the government house is managed, if the government house is dilapidated, if the government house is unserviceable, then of course we have not started. So we needed a good beginning for the government house. The government house is the seat of the government. It's the first home in Akwa Ibom State. It's the first place where every visitor that comes to the state is received. Therefore, it doesn't belong to God's property. It belongs to Akwa Ibom people.
And you have a lot going for you. And it shows in the state. It shows in the furniture. It shows in the finish of the building. It shows in the doors. It shows in the toilets. It shows in the marble. It shows in the type of lights. It shows in your crockery. It shows everywhere. It shows on the roads.
Well, I think I'm so blown out that I'm struggling to find a word to describe what I've seen. I think it's best for people to come and see what is happening here to be able to understand what the government has done here. It is amazing, and sometimes you get carried away, you forget that you're even in Akwa Ibom. So that's how wonderful the place has.
Absolutely amazed at the level of exposure, the warmth, and the amazing infrastructure. We're so looking forward to spending time here.
Were built before the ICT revolution, and they did not accommodate having like internet facilities, having the kind of equipment you need to fast-track governance. Like people talk now about e-governance, you talk about e-business and all that. So it was deficient in certain definite respects. Even what we had as the Government House Press Center was not the kind of place you would want to use for press activities. Now,
this was a milestone achievement for the state. The importance of it was not lost on her people, as no other than President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Dr. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, in company of other top personalities, had the honor of commissioning the edifice.
Commissioning this project by the use of the governor of Akwa Ibom State and the successful governor, and all of us from the diaspora who have one to another to do in this good state of ours. Commissioning this for the use of the glory of God. Amen.
I want to go home. I'm from Akwa Ibom. In case you don't know, Akwa Ibom, we can enter moto or fly for aero and land for Uyo. You should come with me. I'm missing the love at home. 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 Home sweet home. I like that. the cultural, social, musical, lyrical, beautiful, chemical, rhythmical, oh, shake your body, baby. Maybe girl.
That the former relic was an embarrassment to the government and people of the state was attested to by other Nigerians.
This government house, I was here in government house and I've had the opportunity of mentioning it. I came here with my Kakigbe who were given a place here in government lodge. And we had to run away in the night because the rats that were coming out were bigger than me myself. I had the privilege of sitting with the late First Lady, Chief Mrs. Stella Obasanjo, who told me what her own experience was and how she left in anger. Almighty God knew that you are going to be a blessing to the people of Akwa Ibom State.
Encomiums for this visionary development notwithstanding, cynics are of the opinion that the government was imprudent with funds by remodeling the government house complex, which also include a chapel, First Lady's office, clinic, spacious car park, among others. Their contention was the former relic would have been renovated to save cost. How short-sighted this reasoning was. It is on record that the immediate past occupant of the old relic had concluded plans to renovate it. But this turned out financially imprudent, juxtaposing the cost of renovation against cost of building a new one. Besides this, an overwhelming fact was that the contractors could not vouch for the structural quality when finished. This was indeed a red flag, as the building will not be safe for the first family and visitors.
I brought it down to the rubble because even if I attempted to repair it, the amount that I would have used to rehabilitate would have been almost the same amount that a brand new one would have been built. And so the House of Assembly passed a resolution authorizing that I should bring down the old governor's lodge and build a new one. So where you are sitting is a product of the uncommon transformation. We built a brand new one within 2 years and the entire complex. We took out the banquet hall that was in the governor's old lodge where what happened was if there is a function going on, throughout the night, the children would not sleep because they have to listen, of course, the beating of drums and all that. So we took it out of the governor's lodge and built a separate banquet hall. We break out rooms for retreats in case people want to hire it and use it also, so the state can also earn revenue from it.
A new governor's office under construction and nearing completion is part of the remodeling of the government house complex. This has become imperative as the seat of government depicts the psychology of the people. No doubt, a man's outlook reflects his innermost thoughts. Therefore, the need to reinvent governance and provide suitable infrastructure from where power exudes and radiates must reflect what the Akwa Ibom man stands for: excellence.
Now, we are also building a brand new governor's office. The old governor's office was very small. It was acquired during the military regime. It was just a one-story building. The space was inadequate, and the facilities were not modern. And of course, the same way, we brought it down, and we are building a brand new one.
The former governor's office was no better than a warehouse converted into offices with security challenges. Secondly, the office was sandwiched between the offices of the SSG, the deputy governor, the ESCO chamber, and many others. This had negative impact on the psyche of the people as the environment was overcrowded.
This building behind me is the new governor's office, where His Excellency the Governor, Godswill Akpabio, will be piloting the affairs of state from on completion in no distant time. It is a state-of-the-art building, and in contradistinction to his former office, it's coming with modern facilities such as the internet, teleconferencing facilities, and many more, including ample space for His Excellency and his immediate staff to maneuver in for maximum productivity. This project is part of the government's ongoing efforts at remodeling of the government house complex. It is 10 key projects such as this, dotting the entire landscape of the state, that has made Akwa Ibom a haven of uncommon transformation.
If you look at the SY governor's office that we inherited, the way the governor is presently staying, the space is not enough. The space is not enough. The infrastructure there is not enough. The fitting there are not adequate. So we need to have a government house, a governor's office, where all the fittings that we need, the governor can stay anywhere in the world and do teleconferencing anywhere in the world. It doesn't need to be in the four wall of the building to do ESCO, to conduct ESCO. It doesn't need to be in the four wall of the governor's office to have a meeting with any commissioner, or to have a meeting with the SAG or the deputy governor. The new governor's office is such that anywhere the governor is in the world, he can do teleconferencing, he can do ESCO if he so chooses to do.
Something that I never believed could happen in my own state. So I really thank the governor for the vision and the commitment and the dream. Akwa Ibom is heading to lead the whole country. I want to propose to the rest of the world, especially the blacks in diaspora, the Americans, who want to have a spiritual home here in Africa, to consider citing their mausoleum, their museum in Akwa Ibom State. They should become the capital, the headquarters of the blacks in diaspora. I am tremendously impressed. I believe that Governor Akpabio has set a standard. He has set a benchmark that not only his successor should emulate, but the rest of the country.
What is the verdict of the people?
You all know that the government house is the seat of power. Every visitor to the state, immediately you land at the airport, the first point of call, even though the president visits the state today, is the government house. And that is the first impression any visitor will have about the state. So those that are criticizing that is a waste of money are getting it all wrong. I think they are not exposed.
I am so much happy to also be alive to see what is happening in our state. And I want to really appreciate my dear governor and the people that is working under him. As you can see, we have new buildings here, even the banquet, or that people that comes up from the state, when they come in here, they give good testimony. They say that the government have Akwa Ibom State are really trying very well.
This place was so bushy, so it was like nothing is going to happen. But I thank God for this digital governor. It's a God sent. God sent him to come to us and make us feel more comfortable. Like, as you can see, this place is well developed.
Yes, sir. What is going on in Akwa Ibom State is something every leader should emulate. This is a spirit of adding value to the people. Because I was once opportune to visit South Africa. If the governors would develop this kind of spirit that Godswill Akpabio has to add value to the people of Akwa Ibomite.
But this man come in, and as a young man, and he discovered that what was there was not good. He decided to give a good defeating infrastructure, that building, which can attract foreigners, we can attract investors. Now, you see that there are a lot of seminars coming into Akwa Ibom State. But all those seminars were done in Lagos and Abuja.
Okay, we have it before, but what we have now is perfect, more than the one that was here before. They are not wasting the money. They are doing it for our own good.
Well, anybody that may have said that the government of Akwa Ibom State is wasting money on infrastructure, I believe that person has not been exposed to so many things. Because as we can see now, you can see that the environment is so clean, and it has even bring more pride to Akwa Ibom State. Because if you look into some places and even outside Akwa Ibom State, you will see that some states have not gotten a standard like this.
At the inauguration of the new ESCO a fortnight ago, Governor Akpabio reminded his commissioners that it was time to roll up their sleeves and work. He said, "We must maintain the momentum of development." The people were yearning for a change when I came in as governor in 2007. If I have the opportunity to change things as a governor and I don't change the state for the better, then what am I doing here?
I keep telling people that no society can change unless the people themselves who make up that society are ready to change. I saw something in 2007 that Akwa Ibom was yearning for good governance. Akwa Ibom was yearning for infrastructural revolution. Akwa Ibom was yearning for a change. People slept on the road for 5 days because they wanted a total change in the state. They were angry. It is that anger that has transcended and has transformed into what we now refer to as uncommon transformation.
Akpabio has said many times at different fora that he came in with a drive to make a difference because he did not like what he saw. This is visible in the transformation of the Government House complex, part of which the new banquet hall is standing. This was the site of the old Metro Hotel. The mere sight of the old Government House, Metro Hotel and adjoining buildings was sickening. This was where dignitaries visiting the state were quartered. This was what Governor Akpabio was saddled with. And therefore, can any rational being question the wisdom in developing what we have today? The new banquet hall stands to the shame of critics. On the 24th anniversary of the state's creation, Governor Peter Obi of Anambra State had the honor of commissioning the edifice.
I commissioned this banquet hall, best of its kind in Nigeria, praying to the Almighty God that this facility will help in building a better environment, a better Nigeria, to the glory of God. Amen.
Alongside Obi was the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Honorable Aminu Tambuwal, who also commissioned the adjoining guest houses.
For the glory of God, as I said, and benefit of humanity, commission this edifice.
Governor Akpabio was proud to be associated with this success story.
We invited you to do this ceremony because this is one place for the next 100 years or more that will continue to host events after events on a daily basis.
Before the banquet hall was built, state events were hosted at Le Méridien Ibom Hotel and Golf Resort at enormous cost. But the story is different now as the banquet hall has taken over, attracting high-profile events. In most other places, government houses are the exclusive preserve for politicians and the elites in the society. But here in Akwa Ibom State, the seat of power is open to all to wine and dine with their governor. Happy with this development, the people refer to it as uncommon transformation. Well, that's the much we can go on today's edition of the Uncommon Transformation television series. I hope you enjoyed it while it lasted. If you did, return with us same time next week, same station for another interesting package. Bye now.